I'm Jane from Practically Perfect Mums, and I blog at practicallyperfectmums.co.uk. I vlog at PPM's TV over on YouTube. And today we're going to be talking about video editing, just some really simple tips to get started if you're not particularly familiar with the process. And I'm joined by Sian from Helpful Mum.
Hello, I'm Sian and I blog and vlog as Helpful Mum, and I have experience in video editing from working at the BBC, so that's where I'm pulling some little bits of knowledge from.
And also you do a lot on YouTube at the moment. You're very
yes.
popular, aren't you?
I'm often found on YouTube, yes.
And so what we've put together is 10 suggestions for things you should do when you're editing. This is by no means comprehensive, and we've tried not to make anything too technical or jargon-ish. I'm an ex-editor, so both of us have sort of come from that kind of a background. So firstly, we would say, obviously, get together all your, you've done your lovely filming, you need to get together your media in one place. Now, if you're editing on a, thank you. If you're editing on, yeah, that's a good start, isn't it? If you're editing on your phone, or, you know, just on iMovie or something on your phone, then that's absolutely fine. Probably most of your media is going to be there. If you're editing on a computer, you need to gather all your media together in one place so you can get started.
Yeah,
anything to add to that?
Well, I find, because I film on...
This is your name and phone number after the beep. We will return your call.
Go away.
I find I film on both my phone and my camera, so obviously I've got to get media in from
I need to know where the
places.
power button is. Start that again.
No, we're all right.
It's live, yeah?
Yeah, the first time we're getting everything together, putting it all in one place and getting it ready to create that story.
Yeah, okay. So, and then secondly, the second thing we would say is get all your footage into your timeline and do a really quick rough edit without putting too much effort into it. Just plonk it all together in roughly the order you think it's going to go in, and then you can kind of start building a story. Sorry, Sian, were you going to say?
No, I was just agreeing. Just chuck it all in. Like sometimes I'll do an edit for, say, a 5-minute YouTube video, and there'll be nearly 2 hours of footage. So it's just chucking it all in there and not being overwhelmed by the amount that you've just put down. Yeah.
And then thirdly, start to organise the story. So, you know, start putting it, if you can start watching it through and think, actually, no, this is going to be better here, that's going to be better there. Start jiggling it all around, organising your story and making a bit more of a finished product out of it.
Yeah.
Okay. At that point, you might find there are clips that you want to delete that you think, actually, do you know, that's kind of, I've said that twice. Or you might find that you've missed out a point and you need to add something in, and that's kind of the point at which you want to do that. Or you might also, what about music, Sian? When would you add music?
I always add it at the end.
Yeah.
Because then I can fit I tend to try to fit the music to the video rather than the video to the music. No. Yeah. Yes, that's right. I always add my video.
I don't know whether you saw the video I did recently on the on trampolining.
Yeah.
When we went to that press launch, and that was all very much cut to the music. So in that case, I would roughly have a look at on the footages, and then choose a piece of music that's the right length, and then edit to the music. Yeah.
Yeah.
But normally, yeah, as you say, if it's just a general piece of music, you're going to say, well, actually, my program's about this long. I'll find a bit of music that fits and try and time it. Okay. So once you've done that, you've got your story roughly organised. Then the next thing is going to be to do some fine tuning and trimming. And this is probably one of the really important parts where you don't want to just leave everything in. You know, this is where you're going to separate yourself from being somebody who just uploads anything to somebody who's doing a proper edit, because you want to sort of think, okay, these are my best shots, I want those in. Just don't put shots don't just put shots in and leave them for the sake of it. You want to try and get shots which are actually worth having.
Yeah, and I think that's the main part of the storytelling. If you're if it's not telling a part of the story that you want it to tell, then cut it out. Just get rid of it. Yeah. And also try and keep clips short. Unless you're doing a piece to camera, keep them short, because people won't stay interested otherwise.
Yeah. And this is also the point at which you can start watching it through and thinking, oh, at the beginning of the shot, just before I started speaking, I knocked the camera, or there's some, you know, I've done lots of ums and ahs, so you have to put up with them today because we're going live. But normally if I was editing something, I'd take out, because I, have a habit of saying like most of us do. We chop out lots of things like that, which just aren't necessary. Yeah. So, so that would be like our... Sorry?
Just make it more engaging. Just make...
Absolutely. So you've got your piece now all together. You've got a sort of a simple story without any, we haven't done titles, we haven't done anything like that. We've just got the simple story together. So the next thing we're going to think about doing is whether we want to add any transitions. So crossfades, maybe, but simple. Keep it simple.
Maybe jump cuts are easy, and maybe a fade to black, but none of those kind of crisscrossy random ones.
Yeah. Unless that's the effect you're going for. Yeah. And if let's face it, if you've got a new packaging and you want to try it out. But generally you'll find most people end up sticking to just straight jump cuts or it doesn't have to be a jump cut, but straight cuts or dissolves and fades to black and that kind of thing. Okay. So now it's looking good. It's really taking shape. And now we want to do some of the nice little finishing touches, like adding text, titles. You might want special effects, you might, that kind of thing. So I was thinking about things at this point that I would probably add would be an end slate, an intro. Unless you've done that one, I've got a template system as well that I do. But, you might want to add a copyright at the end of your video, those kind of, anything like that at this point.
Yeah, it's a great place to put the kind of outro where you've got all the clickable links and things.
Yes, yeah, okay. So now it's really taking shape. Now this is, Charlotte and I have talked about this one, and this is a really important one as well. Sound balancing. This doesn't have to be something massively technical, and it can be really technical, and it is a huge profession in itself. But we're just talking about if you've got one shot that's really loud next to one shot that's really quiet, or if you've put a dialogue on and you want to put some music with it. You just have to think about how those levels work together and try and make it so your music isn't drowning your dialogue, etc.
I think audio transitions are a really, really big thing. They're so important, and the amount of times you'll watch a YouTube video and the sound's all over the place, and it's actually quite distracting when you're watching it. If you keep the sound kind of even, and if you just keep it a constant power in between those, then it's a lot more enjoyable for the viewer to watch.
Yeah, okay. So, and then I think that the final process probably that I would have before uploading would be, if I'm going to put a thumbnail, I may want to put a thumbnail at this point. Do you maybe want to incorporate it, or would you only put that on YouTube, do you think?
I'd only put it on YouTube once you've uploaded.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll say we upload first.
Yeah.
We upload first. Now, one of the things you can do is you can upload and you can keep it private initially. So if you want to do any messing about and adding thumbnails and that kind of thing, you can do all of that before anybody gets to see what, you can make sure you're happy with the end product.
But you can also, do that, Sean? Well, I don't. I just upload it because it takes so long to upload with our broadband speed that I can upload my thumbnail and edit everything that I need to whilst I'm uploading. So I tend to add it, but I do tend to add my videos to schedule them rather than publish them live anyway. So
so they have to be public to schedule them.
No, they don't.
Oh, they don't. You can schedule them and then
they're not showed up on your show up on your list to anyone else until they're gone live.
So this is the point at which you then, while you're sitting there waiting for that upload to happen, make sure you've got all your keywords in. Yeah. You sort out your thumbnail. I don't know about you, Sean, I tend to use PicMonkey for pretty much all my thumbnails. Yeah. It's fabulous and free. And yes, if you want to put annotations, I mean, I tend to link from one video, the video I'm in, I often link to a previous video which might be similar or related in some way.
Yeah, and also putting cards and things like that on, but that's obviously once it's up. Yeah. So, I think that's pretty much it. And then the final thing, obviously, when you've done that, is you want to make sure somebody actually watches your beautiful video. So then it's a case of just sharing it however you want to share it. You know, whether you want to, there are links on YouTube where you can just share things on all different formats of social media. Yeah.
I tend to click on a few of those, and I tend to embed it into my website as well. How about you, Sean?
I don't share anywhere near as much as I should on YouTube. I think I do tend to share it via Twitter and Facebook, but that's probably it. And then I don't often put it in a blog post, unless it's a review or something. It's rarely in a blog post. Yeah. So yeah, I should probably share more because I don't often share it more than once either.
No, it seems a shame, doesn't it? Because you probably would with a blog post, wouldn't you? You might tweet that out, you know, particularly if it's seasonal or...
I don't know. I don't do it with blog posts either. I don't tend to share much. Once it's out there, it's just there.
Yeah. But I mean, we've had these conversations lots of times, haven't we? And we know we should share things more than we do. Yeah. We should make sure that we keep...
Especially for people to see them.
Yeah, okay. And yeah, so that's it. That's our 10 suggestions for things you should do when you're editing. You can come and visit both of us over on our YouTube channels. As I said, mine is PPM's TV.
And mine is Helpful Mum.
Thank you very much for watching. Do you have anything to add, Sean?
No, I think we've covered it all.
This is our second blab. We're very excited. We've only learned how to blab today, and we're finding it a lot of fun, actually, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll be doing this again. Bye.
Thanks for watching.